Hi guys, today I would like to speak about two lenses I own. It's a Canon 85mm 1.2 Mark II and a Sigma 85mm 1.4 Art Series. What I want to speak about is I'm not gonna do any like a comprehensive review or something with some pictures. No, unfortunately not. So if you're interested in that one, just turn off the video please, thank you. I want to say my experience as a professional photographer, because I see these like opinions on internet from people that don't even have a lens, and they're just like, oh, Canon is better and blah blah blah, and this one Sigma is rubbish, and Sigma has a problem with the focusing and whatever. It's like when I read these like opinions from some internet like people, there's like whatever, it makes me sick. Yeah, so I own this lens for maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years. I had lots of photo shoots where I was taking pictures of very important events, and I would like to say something about the sharpness of the lens and some experience I had. So what's going on here is I'm a behind the scene photographer for a film crew, and many times I have to shoot in a fast-paced environment, and I'm using lenses like this 85mm Canon. I'm using lenses as these 35mm Sigma Art. I'm using lenses as a Canon 300mm 2.8 L image stabilized, and I'm thinking about some other lenses, maybe like Canon 132 f2 as well, because I like prime lenses, I don't like zoom lenses, whatever. And the main problem, whatever, I'll say something else. I'm using two of these bodies, Canon EOS 5D Mark II. I like 5D Mark II. It's not about like I don't have the money for any other lens, for any other camera. It's just I want to use 5D Mark II. That's how it is. Like I like that camera. I don't want to use any 1D or whatever. I like this one. And I never had a problem with any focusing or anything. I was even taking pictures of like flying birds and whatever, and pictures were great. My issue with this lens, before I say what my issue is, I'll show you something like how they look. So they look like this. You can see clearly that the Sigma is much larger. The front element looks like this, and the back element looks like this. Canon has a bigger like a glass in there, so it makes sense if it's 1.2. So the one thing I say, it's like a first impression, not first impression, like a first important thing is this is 1.2 lens, okay? This is not 1.2, it's 1.4, and it was created just a couple of months ago, like I made a couple of months ago. This lens is already like many years on the market. This is a masterpiece, yeah, it makes sense. It is a huge like element in the back. It's a L lens and everything is great. Just my problem as a professional where I'm using this lens is the lens is focusing right. I don't have a problem with the back focus and the front focus, but the problem I'm experiencing is I can't rely on that focus. That means the pictures sometimes are focused a little bit elsewhere, and on this lens you will see it. That's the problem. You will see it, that the picture is focused like a 3mm elsewhere when you're focusing on the eyes, for example, you know. And it's very annoying, actually. It's very annoying, you know. Many professional photographers, they own like a lenses for a couple of £1,000 and they don't want to speak about it because it's like expected, like it's expensive lens, it's amazing. How is the lens? It's amazing. No, it's not amazing. It's probably amazing for some people. They shoot some portraits, some like outside or whatever, or maybe some studio work, but it's not really amazing for like for me, yeah. Many times I'm in a, as I said, like in a fast-paced environment and or whatever, and for some reason the lens is just not focusing right somehow, yeah. And I had already like 3 of these lenses in my hands, 3 of them, exactly these Canon 85mm 1.2 Mark II, and I had the same issue with each lens. So it's not just this piece is wrong or something. No, it's not. So what is happening is I've tested the lens for the front focus and back focus. It was spot on, always spot on. There was no single problem with that. But when you're taking pictures on a set, what's happening is, as I said, like sometimes it's focused like a little bit elsewhere, and when you're taking picture on a 1.2 and you see it, and that's a problem. Lots of pictures are kind of like rubbish, yeah. So I come home and like 50-60% of pictures are rubbish, like they're focused a bit elsewhere, even if the lens doesn't have any problem with the focusing. It's just the nature of the lens somehow. I don't know how to explain it. And I've done many photo shoots with this lens, and I'm just like, it's expensive lens. It's like lens for 1,300, 1,400 pounds, and it's just not really. I was just not happy with the lens. You know what I mean? And because I had this Sigma 35mm as well, and I also had before Canon 35mm 1.4 L, and that lens was amazing as well, like absolutely great lens, never a single problem. I didn't have this kind of problem like with this 85mm, like it was focusing spot on. So I bought this Sigma because I wanted, like, if I heard the Sigma is like great lens, so I was like, if I can have the same lens for cheaper, why not? So I sold that 900 pounds lens and I bought this one for like 500 or so, whatever. And it's amazing. I'm using it for different, like a kind of work, like a different kind of photo shoots and everything, and I never had a single problem with anything. I mean, the lens is amazing. So I decided to buy this Sigma 85mm 1.4. Many people, they say the Sigma has a problem with the focusing and focusing issues and blah blah blah. I must say they could be right. When I got the lens, I'm doing photography for 14 years now. When I got this lens, first time in my life, I had to adjust the micro adjustments on the camera. I never had a problem before that lens would have a problem with the micro adjustment settings. Even this Sigma 1.4 35mm never had a problem, and it doesn't have. But this Sigma was literally focusing a bit like off, yeah. So first couple of minutes I had the lens, I was like, gosh, what's going on here? But then I've seen the tutorial on YouTube, like how to do the micro adjustments, and I've done it. It was like -17 or something. Guys, the lens after micro adjustments is spot on. It's proper. It's absolutely proper. Yeah, it's focusing amazingly. It's focusing absolutely spot on. Like I have absolutely nothing to say. Yeah, it's great. Every single shot. So I'm really happy with the lens. I already had this lens on a couple of photo shoots, and it's amazing. Like with this lens, with the Canon, I had ratio maybe like 60% rubbish, 40% good pictures, like I mean in terms of being in focus, like exactly, I mean proper exactly where the eyes are. I'm not accepting any like half centimeter there or half centimeter there, because it doesn't look like it's in the focus. I'm sorry, but I have to give the photos to the customer which are spot on. Yeah, with this lens I have ratio maybe like 80-20, maybe 85-15. So this lens is great. It's much faster, like it's focusing much faster. The pictures are great. They are amazing, like absolutely great. You can just check it on the internet, like what kind of pictures. I will probably make some review, just if I get some time, like these two lenses, just to compare them, like how the bokeh look like on 1.2 and 1.4 and everything. This lens is maybe like 1,150 grams without hood, and this lens is like 987 grams without the hood and without the caps. So this is much heavier and like much more bulky, but this lens is solid. When I'm taking it on a shoot, I feel really comfortable and I feel like I have something to offer to the customer. I don't feel like, gosh, I have a lens, one lens which is okay, it has a great bokeh and everything, but it's just that focusing is a bit rubbish. Like why this is happening, you know. And I've done I've done many photo shoots where I had just like a model staying without moving, and okay, those pictures were quite alright. There was not like a big issue. Even there was an issue, but it wasn't like a big issue. But you know, when I'm in this kind of environment, like the actors, they are like moving a little bit, breathing a little bit, and I really need to do the pictures, you know what I mean? And as I'm saying, I never had a problem with the 5D, with the focusing. I've done like lots of pictures of flying birds and whatever with any kind of lenses, and I don't think like 5D has a problem. Even I'm using another 5D that's set up also for -70 adjustments, and with the Sigma, the pictures are great. They're absolutely amazing. And this is what I wanted to speak about today, and it's something people don't speak about it probably that much, because you know, when you buy a lens for a couple of £1,000 or like a couple of hundreds, like let's say 1400 or something, you had before like some rubbish lenses, so that means you're not like familiar with L lenses, and you had some kind of like a cheap equipment, and you're expecting, when you buy like proper equipment, you're like, oh, it has a red ring in the front, oh, it's amazing, and you feel that kind of like feeling like you have a great expensive lens. So for some reason it can happen that you can be a bit blind, and no, don't take me wrong, but I mean, you can be a bit blind and you can be like, oh, the lens is amazing, it's absolutely great, and you actually are like overwhelmed by the bokeh and everything. But when it comes to professional work, you know, you find out some issues, they are not really acceptable. Like for me, it's not acceptable, the focus is a little bit else, somewhere else, and whatever. So you know, that's why I switched for Sigma Art 85mm, even if it's 1.4. okay, it's so simple, guys. I understand that, don't take me wrong. I understand that this is 1.2 aperture, that means it's 1.2. This one is 1.4. I can't really compare 1.4 to 1.2 because this lens gives me much better exposure time. It's not much better, but it's better exposure time for like a low light conditions, and also gives me a little bit more creamy bokeh. That's fair enough, guys. I fully understand, and as I said, it's a masterpiece. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Just think like something people not speaking about it that much, that is, for some kind of like a photo shoot, for some kind of work, this lens is just not good, because is focusing, and the focus is not really reliable all the time, and people are moving, you're breathing, the actors are breathing, and then the thing is, on this lens you will see it, you will see that it's autofocus and everything. So that's the problem. Even as I said, like you focusing exactly here, but it's focusing like maybe half centimeter elsewhere, you will see it on a picture like it's like completely out of focus, and you can't give the picture like that to the customer. So that's why for me, with this lens, even when I'm shooting, not shooting like shooting, and I'm taking pictures of models, I don't like that word like shooting. I'm not shooting, I'm taking pictures, whatever. Even when I'm taking pictures of models, I really enjoy this lens much more than Canon. Even I have to sacrifice bokeh a bit, maybe like 10% or whatever, because with this lens, with the Sigma, I have much more material I can work, like pictures, some nice, really nice pictures, they are in focus, and that's what makes me so happy about that. It's like, great. Okay, guys, so this was kind of like an idea from professional photographer. As I said, I own both of these lenses, you know, so I think I have what to say, and I just can't read those comments on internet like Sigma rubbish, this blah blah and this blah blah. You know, guys, I feel really sorry for you if you purchased Sigma Art and your lens is focusing as rubbish, or you have some kind of ongoing issues. I'm sorry, guys. I feel sorry for you. Of course, I fully understand that that may happen, and Canon is more reliable in this one because it's Canon made for Canon, makes sense, yeah? And this one is Sigma made for everything, like for Canon, Nikon's, maybe Sony, I don't know, whatever. And this is a problem. Like I understand that this focusing could be an issue, but when you get the great example of a lens as I did, even if I had to do adjustments a little bit. Now the lens is amazing. It's amazing. It's absolutely, I have nothing to say. And I have two of these bodies. I have two 5D Mark II cameras, and both of them are set up for -70 adjustment for this lens. And I'm coming on the photo shoot and I'm really happy. Like, I don't feel stressed out. I don't feel like I missed the moment or something. And this is what I want to speak about. When I was using this Canon before, it was like I had to do really lots of pictures, like a huge amount of pictures, because I knew that there is going to be lots of pictures out of focus, and it was so annoying. It was so annoying to have like 700, 800, whatever pictures, and then 600 pictures or 500 pictures were deleted, you know, because of reliability of the focus, like focus issues. And yeah, I'm really happy I've done this video, because I definitely wanted to say this. And I understand, guys, that you could have a different experience with the Sigma Art lenses, but my experience is great. I mean, great. This lens, Canon lens, will go for sale. I don't want that lens, unfortunately, even if it's a great lens. And yeah, that's it. So probably when I get some time, I'll make another review, maybe, about some comparison, whatever. Like, I compare the bokeh of the both lenses on the same subject. I compare the sharpness. I think sharpness is the same. And yeah, I mean, this lens has a great sharpness. There's no problem with the sharpness. On f1.2 it's as sharp as like properly sharp as a knife. Yeah, it's just the problem is where the focus is. So I think for me right now the Sigma is much more reliable, and I know I have it just maybe for like 2 months. I can't really like a clever guy now. Yeah, I don't know how long this lens is gonna last. Yeah, but so far very happy, very happy. I can only recommend it, and see you next time.